Hello Space Engineers, welcome back to Hephaestus Prime, or more to the point, welcome back to the Sirius Orbital platform and the Marama Rocket, currently in orbit above Hephaestus Prime. Hope everybody's well. We'll get into it. So before we head back down to the planet, I need to do what I was meant to do last episode, which was install a beacon and a laser antenna. Now, I've got one on this ship already, but I still need to put it on the Sirius. So I've got one that works, I just want to put the second one on up top. Yes, so what I've actually done is just before I put in some plating underneath there, because I do not believe beacons are airtight. I've just got this feeling. I've read it somewhere. Yes, so a little bit of a challenge, these things. They just use so much resource to actually build them. So what I might do is, if I put the beacon in there, just trying to figure out the best way to do this so I don't make a million trips back and forth. Okay, actually, I could, they'll be pretty much the same components in this thing, so we'll just do that. Right, while I'm doing this, plan for today, once we get back down to the planet, is to do the industrial lift, to get the Marama Rocket from the operations area up into the launch pad, launch site. So yes, I've been back and forth as to whether to do it or not, but I'm pretty committed to it now. The fact that I've started that big hole in the ceiling, so that must just about be poking out of the ground by the time we get back. Yeah, I just have had a few thoughts about how I'm going to do it, so I'll talk more about that when we get back down on the ground. So I anticipate it being quite a big build today, so we'll get this finished as soon as I stop making these trips back and forth. These just take so much resource. The laser antenna started as well. So yeah, this will complete it pretty much to how it is on the Steam workshop. And of course, yeah, we need the second antenna to communicate with outer space, because the existing one underneath is pretty much locked into talking to the planet. It's really the only thing that it can see, because they are directional somewhat. And yeah, need this beacon so I can sort of see where the platform is, because it makes quite a good target when I'm launching off up into space. But of course I have the antenna turned off so that it doesn't clutter up my HUD with the Sirius sentries. Cool, that's all done, so just got to name the things now. So the beacon, so that will stay on, and we'll put the range right up on that. Cool. And the antenna, we'll rename that. Now we'll turn that off, and that's only going to be turned on to talk to the sentries, and we can access it through the laser antenna basically, so that's all good. And the laser antenna, we'll turn that one off. Marvellous. Alright, so that is that all sorted. Best we lock the door and put the cat out and head back down to the planet. So we'll just put this into its low power mode. so. And just before we go, I want to top up the oxygen tanks and the hydrogen tanks with what I've got on the Marama Rocket. Oh, plus the ice as well, of course. So that's kind of the reason why I've got such big oxygen tanks on here, 4 of them, because I certainly don't need it for breathing. It's really just to top up facilities like this, and especially the moon. So yeah, they're sitting pretty good, but we'll just stockpile them. And that's full, cool. So, I mean, we've still got heaps left, but yeah, that will come in useful on the moon, because then I hopefully don't have to do ice mining, and I'll sort of take it with me. Now, I'll just do the same with the hydrogen, because we don't need an awful lot to go back down with. And they're pretty much full anyway. Now, I did turn off the O2 generators on here, the idea being that I'm going to just put the ice into storage here, and then next episode, when I take off with my supplies to go to the moon with both the Marama Rocket and the Aether resupply, they will be loaded up with stuff, and probably a little bit heavy because I'll have iron and things like that in them, and components, so they can go up with heavy but not much volume, and then we can fill them up with extra ice when they're up here in orbit in the 0G, so that's the plan there. So they will be going full as to the moon. Right, let us depart. So just quickly test which way I want to do the thrusters. That way. Alright, 3, 2, 1, launch. Here we go. Awesome. It's not super maneuverable, but it does the job. So let's just turn our approach GPS on so we can sort of get in the right direction. And yeah, I'll see you back down on the planet. Fingers crossed it all goes well. Alright, just doing the last little bit. Now I do have a bit of a predicament that it is very difficult to actually see. So, I mean my angle, okay, I am keeping straight, but yeah, I've just had to sort that out, and then on top of trying to stay on the right altitude, but we are keeping straight, so I'll try the back camera. Yeah, I can't really judge where it is. Oh, there's the shadow, we should be right now. Okay, gently does it. And locked. Ooh, okay. So that kind of flew like a brick, really. It wasn't that smooth. Yeah, I need that readout up in front of me. I mean, you got the doodacky thing up there, which is hidden behind that. Yeah. Oh well, that's something to sort out. We'll let future Wellington deal with that. Yeah, I really just need to put in a remote control so it can auto land. That's what I need to do. But nevertheless, we are back safe and sound without a scratch on it, which is good. So yeah. That's gone very well, that flight. I think there's enough thrust there to take some pretty big loads, and I think I was still at 50% fuel, so yeah, bit up my sleeve to come back down to the ground with. Cool. Right, let us get on with this main thing for today, which is the industrial lift. Yeah, so I'm definitely doing it. I know I've changed my mind about 3 times. But yeah, let's get back to it, see how the hole has gone. Yeah, it's just about there. Now, I have had some thoughts about this, so I'll just grab myself some steel to do the extension. So I was thinking whether actually I have a smaller hole to finish with, but I think that I'm going to be better off with a bigger hole. The same size all the way up, and I can just fill it in with some metal plate. So do, let us try and attach this thing and extend it. Why is that not connecting? Why can't I go up any higher? Very strange. Just type it in. Why are you not doing that? It needs a bit of stone. Yes. Now we've got a lock. Sorry, just... What are you doing? What are you doing? Sort it out. Right, there we go. Now, I'll just turn that off because I think it will ping out otherwise. We'll just extend this. And just do that one as well. Alright. Yeah, so I'll get this going right through up the top. And then I will actually start on the lift. Now, I've put quite a bit of thought into this. I was going to do a lift with thrusters. The same as the elevator shaft. I have actually done some testing offline, and off camera I should say, on my demo world. Now I don't normally do that. I normally just have a go at it sort of live, as it were. Just reduce the velocity of that and turn it back on. Should be enough room. Yeah, I don't normally do that, but I did it this time. And yeah, I was going to use a couple of metal blocks up each, guide rails up each side, but it really just didn't sort of work. One of the problems, just get this in the right place, should be right, is that the wheels don't line up. You need to use sort of half blocks to make it work, because the wheels on the small grid back over at the elevator, the wheels kind of the wheel matches up with the block perfectly, but on the large grid the wheel kind of ends up half off the block, so you kind of need like 4 blocks to make it work. Yeah, so it's not really ideal. Yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna go with pistons, and yeah, hopefully that works. Otherwise I don't know what I'm gonna do. Yeah, so let's get this going. Sorry about the noise. Okay, that was loud. I'll probably edit that out so you don't hear it, but yeah, it's quite loud. So we'll let that do its thing for a while, and then I need to put in pistons, lots and lots of pistons. So what I'm going to do to start with is I'm actually just going to put this off to one side. Now I'm actually just thinking whether I can tap it into there. That might actually be the way to go. And we don't have to worry about it. Okay, so I think that's actually made a connection. One way to find out I mean, it's definitely anchored. And that's still spinning. Never doubted it for a second. Right. So, yeah. Get rid of this. So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do a speed up thingy, because this is going to take me forever. What I want to do is build a piston, a temporary one. And that will go probably 1 or 2 up, and then a couple down. And with that, I'm going to drill out a hole for the other pistons. And then I'll build those. So what I'm going to have is... Okay, so that's going to be the temporary thing. And then down here, I'm going to have... Hang on, I'll just put this away. I'm going to have two rows of pistons. So one down here and one down there. And they're going to be linked at the bottom. And then there's going to be a solid shaft going up. So those will, when the lift is down, they'll be extended. And when the lift is up, they'll be retracted. So it won't be the shaft up the middle that retracts, and so that'll be a single one. It will be the pistons. So I think that'll work, and I'll put some guide wheels in. Yeah, that's the plan. But I think I've done a very rough calculation, and I think that I need like 15 pistons to make that gap. Plus I'm going to need another 5 to deal with the hole. So I'm looking at about 20 pistons, I believe. Times 2. So this temporary piston will drill down, and it will have, it'll be piped. So I'll recover the stone, and then the other ones I'll just put in, and I'll put a welder on the end of the piston, the temporary piston, and then that can retract back up and it can weld them as it goes. Okay, so that is the plan. I don't know whether it's going to work or not, but yeah, wish me luck. Welcome back. That took an absolute eternity. Yes, it just, it took forever. It went well, but it took forever to do. So I've checked everything. I've put a group in. I've made sure that everything goes the same way, because that's quite important. We don't want things twisting and stuff happening. And there we go. So we'll jump on for a ride. It's cleared those tyres, so that's there to sort of stop it wobbling. Oh, helmet's still shut. There was an incident. I did face plant into a wall and sort of die, so this is clone me. Whoops. Yeah, so it's gone quite well. It did take a while, but that temporary piston really did the business. It made it quite efficient. So I had that drill the first hole, and then I was able to put the yellow pistons in, unwelded, and then put the drill on the end of the yellow pistons, and then as I retracted the temporary piston, I had a welder on the end of that, and that was able to weld up the piston, so that saved a heap of time. And then they were able to push down to the bottom to their full extent. So yeah, there's quite a few down there. There's about 17 of them, I think. Yeah, so I just really do hope that I've measured right, because yeah, I don't know if I can handle putting more pistons on. I don't know how I'm going to do it. So I've got a bit of a grid up here to sort of get the height right. So I want to push up underneath there. Now I am missing about 4 blocks off the end of that, because there will be a connector and some conveyors as well, so it's a little bit short. But yeah, that's the sort of temporary scaffolding to get up the middle, and yeah, it can just I've taken the middle bits out, so if it needs to push past it, it can. That's just temporarily attached over to the entranceway to the command center. Is that stopped? Oh, that's got to be about 1 or 2 pistons short. Oh, son of a bitch. Welcome back. I've had the camera off for the last about 2 hours, I think. It's just taken so long to add extra pistons. Yeah. Anyway, and I now can't catch a ride on this thing. And also what's taken so long is just trying to get it actually stopping in the right place and starting or stopping at the right place, top and bottom. So that's how long it's taken. The sun is up. So I started this whole thing, well, probably about this time yesterday, my Hephaestus Prime time. Yeah, it's taken me a good 4 or 5 hours to do this, but it's come up quite well. Well, I hope so. This bit's working all right. I've got to build the platform now, so that's what I'm going to do next. And yeah, hopefully it's able to lift up the weight, but I'm pretty confident that it will. So that's the whole system there. And because I've sort of got it going in reverse, I don't think I'm going to get the kind of wobble, this is why I went this way rather than having them extend up just free, because then they might wobble when they get up the top. Now I've taken these conveyors out that were attached to the pistons, because that was just to really get rid of the rock. And what I'm going to do is here I'm going to put a connector and another one on the sort of on here as well, so that when it's down here it will be locked in, lest I get some parts. And then I'll do the same up the top as well, so when it gets up the top I'll set up a timer, and when it arrives, why is that not fitting there? Let's just be the collision mesh. Yeah, I'll do the same up the top, but that's actually going to need a piston to sort of retract when it's down here underneath the platform, and then extend when it gets up the top, which I won't do right now. So I'll just rename this, and then we'll move this out of the way. But time is marching on, so I think that with this platform I'm going to do another montagey thing, because I've got to build the platform, I've got to build the surround up the top, and I've got to build the surround down here. and that will all make sense when you see what I'm doing, because it's gonna it'll make sense when you see. So yes, we'll just do a very quick montage, and well, yeah, it'll be, I expect that it'll be quick to do the montage. I expect it's going to take me a long time to weld up all the stuff that I've got to weld up. Anyway, back soon. Hello. That went very smoothly. Took a while. A lot of steel in this. In fact, I've only got about 2,000 steel plates left. I'm going to have to make some more, which is just absolute shock horror after having so much for so long. So we've got these vents here, so I think they will actually come in useful, because if I'm trying to blast off with a heavy load, then it will sort of prevent the deck from blowing up. That's the theory. Made a little bit of an error, possibly that I shouldn't have jutted out that corner there, but yeah. Let's go get this Marama Rocket and put it away. Put it back in its cage? No. Put it back in its home. Fingers crossed this works. So I have not tried this, but I'm confident that the pistons will be strong enough. Okay, so just lift off, and I'm kind of going to have to fly not backwards but sideways. So I'm actually, because I'm pointing up, that's forward, so I'm actually pressing the C key to go to lower, to go sideways. So it's all a bit back to front. But it's actually flying alright, this rocket. I mean, I pretty much just came straight down from space, but now that I'm sort of, it is staying upright, so it is actually travelling okay. And yeah, our fuel's alright. So that's positive for setting up an autopilot. Gently does it. Don't want to crash into these trees or that scaffolding that I've got left behind. Just gently does it. It's going pretty well. Still plenty of fuel. Okay, I'll switch to the bottom camera. So just in the top of my view there is the nectar, so I'm just going to line it up. Just twist ourselves slightly. It does drop ever so slightly, so that's just drifting down. That's not me pulsing down. I'm just trying to get it lined up. Straight. So yeah, it's got a little bit of drift, but that's to be expected. I mean, there's about 8 or 9 pistons at varying stages. And I haven't put the locking connector up here either, so we are sort of just floating, so it will be a bit more secure. Oh, there we go. Now I'll just turn the thing off and lock it at the same time. Ooh, okay, we're down. That went okay. That went very well, actually. Alright, so now we have a go at lowering it down, and those thrusters are just in the right place, so it's like I planned that. So yeah, just having that little bit of extra room below them. Now, as much as I think it's going to be strong enough, I might just turn up the power a little bit on these. Not excessively. Just, well, it has gone red, but never mind. Okay. Fingers, toes, and everything else crossed. Down we go. Ooh. Lurches a little. That's, yeah, it's quite bouncy going down, but it's going down smoothly, sort of. Well, it's not crashing into a big pile of flames. Yeah, that's going alright. If I slow that down even, because we're still going at 0.3 meters a second, so it's going relatively quick. That's okay. Now time will tell now when it connects. Oh, perfect. Absolutely perfect. I'm happy with that. That's awesome. Ooh, okay. We're home. So, I don't know if it's pointed the right way. I sort of, yeah, I might need it around 90 degrees because I sort of want the door to the back wall, but, because then the cargo bay will be at the front. Anyway, not a problem. Right, now, can we lift it back up? Ooh. Yes, no worries. That's going up as though it's not on there. Oh, that's good news. That is good news. I mean, the fact that it's just going up so easily, I mean, that's going at the same speed as what it was when it was empty, when it was on there. That means that that's good news for if it's loaded going up or loaded going down. Oh, that's worked well. And it's not wobbling or anything. There's no twisting, there's no strange noises. And yeah, when I get the locking connector up the top, that'll just be so much the better. Oh, that is good. I'm so glad that that's worked. It's been a big few days for me. Yeah, it's taken me a couple of days to do this, and I know I've condensed all that down into a half-hour or so episode. And I'm so glad it's done, and it's come up real well. Anyway, so that is us for today. I'm going to continue on with some other bits and pieces around here. Then next episode, we are packing our bags, ready to head to the moon. So I hope you can join me then. Thanks everybody for watching. Stay safe out there. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.